you out. And what questions do you have about the 3-day event? Bert or Joseph, you can fire away.
I just wanted to listen in. I didn't actually attend the event, so I just wanted to see how everything was with the people that actually saw it. I was just too busy, so I apologize.
No worries. No worries. Yeah, well, I'm glad you're here. Well, I guess just real brief. I mean, for those of you who don't know, I'm a realtor just like you guys, and I have two big passions in life. Really, I'd say three. One is I love spending time with my family and going on vacations. And two is I love selling real estate, helping buyers and sellers. And then the third is in the last 9 months, I've really started helping realtors nationally, basically throughout the country, get similar results to what I've been getting. And that's just been a huge joy and a big blessing, and it's been very fun. So I do this event. It's a 3-day event. The next one coming up is June 23rd, 24th, and 25th. It's here in San Diego. And for 3 solid days, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted by the third day. But for 3 solid days, I'm going over exactly what I've done and what I do to have gone from 0 to a little over $368 million in sales. And last year I did $29.2 million. I don't have a big team. I don't have. I don't want to say I have a single. Well, I have an admin person who basically does about 3 to 5 hours a week with me and for me. And besides that, it's just myself. And at the 3-day event, I go over a bunch of stuff. But one is really how to attract premium clients, really how to have your profits fuel your passions in the real estate business. 3 is how to hire right. So if you do want to hire admin people, if you do want to hire realtors, I can show you how to shortcut that. I go over my unique client events that increased my income a lot. Basically how I turn about $500 into $25,000. And another thing I go over is how to basically send out postcards that work. And so generally, for $98,000, well, I should say generally for about $3,000, I get about $60,000 back. And then how to work less, how to really double your current clients, and then just my secret open house strategies. So, yeah.
How's it going?
Hey, Jonathan, how are you? We talk again.
Yeah.
Let's, let me do this. I'm going to get my calendar out too here. Let's get a time set up where you and I can talk. Do you got time today, or do you want to do it tomorrow?
We can definitely make time today.
Okay. So let's do this. What's today? Wednesday, June 8th. We'll say like about 45 minutes from now. So at 4:15 my time, I'll give you a call.
Okay.
So are you 2 hours difference? Are you you're what, Central Standard Time?
Yeah, so it's 2 hours.
2 hours. Okay, awesome. So I'll call you then at 6:15 your time, 4:15 my time, and we'll my gosh, we'll really get you jump started and get you rolling. So
Okay.
that'll be awesome. Hey, Steven, how are you? Stephen must have just turned his mute button on. So yeah, that'll be awesome, Jonathan, to really give you a jump start. Was it good kind of hanging out with some of these clients that I have this morning and this afternoon? Was that helpful?
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Nice. What were some like things you gathered from it?
Well, this morning, man, it's hard. I was on my way. I was driving to a close. Well, I wasn't driving. I was riding to a closing. So I'm trying to recollect what was going on. I know that you were talking to some students that have been doing it for a while. Yeah, I think that really the biggest thing is, people are just saying to keep at it and just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is really simple, right? And sometimes it can be a little intimidating because it's so easy. And it's like yeah, you don't have to complicate, right? And that's something I've definitely learned in life and definitely in real estate is the easier and simpler you can keep it, the better for the buyers and the sellers out there, because they really don't want complicated. And I get a lot of my listings because I simplify the process, where other realtors they tend to complicate it a bit, right? Like, hey, we need to do a bunch of super staging, and we need to do this, and we need to do that, and everything's got to be perfect. And I come in and I tell a seller, like, hey, your house is great as is. Let's just get it on the market. And what's funny is most sellers choose myself because that's what they want. They want the simplicity of it. They don't want to go through and have to paint the walls a different color. They don't want to have to change stuff out, have a whole bunch of yardscape brought in, all that type of thing. They just want simple.
Right.
So yeah, simple is good. And definitely for us as realtors too, where it's focus on the basics, like call people that already know you, like you, trust you, but call them in a certain way. Send out mailings to people that are more apt to sell their house, interact with lenders, and really, work hard so that you get a lender that's going to send you $500,000 of business a month. Work with builders, and really, make sure that you're connecting with a quality builder. Yeah, that stuff is like crazy important.
Yeah.
So awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you're on board, Jonathan. You're going to do great.
Thanks.
Yeah. Awesome. So Stephen or Angela, thanks for hopping on here. Do you guys have any questions, about real estate, how I can help you there, or about the 3-day event that's closing up actually tonight? Hello, Robert. What part of the world are you calling in from, Robert?
I'm from Pasadena.
Pasadena,
Great.
wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Pasadena, beautiful. So yeah, I'm here for you guys. So ask me any questions you have about real estate in general. You could ask me anything, really. I'm an open book. If you got questions on the 3-day event coming up, ask me about that as well, and I'm here to help out. Who wants to jump in first? You get a bonus.
Oh, my goodness. Give me a bone here, guys.
The first person that jumps in, I'll send this lottery ticket to.
I'll ask a question.
All right, fire away.
Uh, so they say that listings is the name of the game because listings are help generate more leads. But when you're primarily working with buyers, is there a way that you use to kind of turn a buyer into more business? Other than, I mean, I don't, kind of very generic question, but just thought I'd fire away.
No, that's awesome. So text me your address. I'll give you my cell number. It's 858-212-1245, and text me your address, and I'll send you this lottery ticket. Because I told you I would. So awesome. So let's see here. So your question is, yeah, listings are good. Let me look at my numbers right now as of this year. So this year I'm at about 2-to-1 ratio for listings to buyers. I like both. And so I'm a real big believer of just multiply clients, right? And there's a strategy I have. I spend about $500 on this strategy. And with this $500, I usually turn it into about $20,000 to $25,000. And it's something that I do generally once a month to once a quarter. But as far as like working with someone and having that multiply, oh yeah, I'm definitely into that. And when I work with a buyer, generally I'm working with that buyer anywhere from 3 days to 10 days before we go pending, or in some areas of the country it's called go into escrow. Yeah, so one of the things that I do, Robert, is I call my current clients every Tuesday and every Friday. And I have a very scripted way that I do it. It's basically a 3-step process. And it's, in essence, like, hey, thank you. Like, hey, thanks for choosing me out of all the realtors in Pasadena. Like, thanks for choosing me, right? And then I go into offer, which is, hey, what can I be doing for you? Is there anything I can be doing to make this experience just a better experience for you? And then third is ask. And ask is, hey, can I ask you for some help? And I only want you to help me if you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable, just say so. Fair enough? And they say, yeah, of course. And then I'll say, like, who else do you know who's just as nice as you, who's thinking about moving as well? Maybe they're thinking of moving to Pasadena. Maybe they're thinking of moving out of Pasadena. Maybe they're thinking of getting a bigger yard, smaller yard. Maybe it's somebody at school or at church or work. Maybe they're even frustrated or concerned. Maybe they're pulling their hair out thinking about this process. Like, who comes to your mind first? And generally, for every client that I work with, I'm generally going to get 2 other really good clients from that. Just by doing those Tuesday, Friday update calls. And it's something that most realtors overlook, but it's magical. And I tell my clients, I'm going to call them every Tuesday, I'm going to call them every Friday, I'm going to say thank you, I'm going to say, hey, is there anything I can be doing for you? And I'm going to ask you for, do you know anybody else who could benefit by my services? And I'll tell a buyer or a seller that, I'll tell them that on the phone the first time they call in and interact with me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it works. It works. Because people love to be communicated with, right? We hate to be sold. We love to buy stuff, and we just want to be communicated with. Like, tell me the truth, right? So it kind of goes back to my 3 promises, which my 3 promises are: I'm going to be on time, I'm going to be brutally honest with you, and I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. And I tell realtors, even if you started doing those 3 things, and that's all you did, you would do very well financially. Like probably $150,000 a year of income. And you don't need to do anything else except these are my 3 promises. I'm going to be on time. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. It's so huge. It's gargantuan. So yeah, does that kind of answer that a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah, that helps. Thanks.
Have you signed up for the 3-day event yet?
Yeah, I am signed up.
You are? Okay.
So
Nice.
I'll
Good for you.
there.
What made you sign up?
I don't know, just looking for a more systematic approach. Right now, I don't have any systems in place, so I figured if I can kind of use some of the tools and strategies that you use and implement them myself, maybe it could help. I wasn't going to go, but I decided, you know what, it can't hurt. I'll just go. So, yeah.
Do you go by Bobby as well?
I do, yeah. I go by Bobby. That's just what people know me by, so
Okay.
either way.
Awesome. All right, then I see on the list here because you must have signed up as Bobby, right?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay,
I
beautiful.
my email says Robert.
Right. Well, awesome. Well, yeah, I'm glad you did. Yeah, and I guarantee a 300 to 1 return on investment, which is pretty good. Meaning, you come to the event, you could be there for 1 minute, 1 day, 2 days, or all 3 days. And if you don't see how putting to use even a few of these strategies can add an additional $300,000 of income to you, just let me know. And I refund you back 100% of what you paid. And you keep all the materials, and we part as friends, and away we go. So I don't know anybody who has that kind of, I don't even know what you'd call it. I guess a guarantee. So yeah, it's kind of a win-win for you.
Cool.
Especially in your market, Pasadena, where probably the average home price is in the 500 to 600 range.
Yeah, a little bit more than that actually, but I just moved here, and I just moved here from Riverside, and so that's where my office still is, and I'm still looking to make a transition, but it's tough because most of my business comes from Riverside and the Inland Empire, because that's just where my family and friends and sphere is. But I moved out here because my wife got like her dream job out here, so I'm going to be tackling this new market soon. But as of right now, I'm kind of in that awkward transitionary period.
Nice. Well, we'll change that because in a matter of 12 days, we could get you from knowing nobody in Pasadena to about 150 people in Pasadena.
Okay.
Would that be okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So we'll go over that on day 2 at the 3-day event. We'll probably spend about 90 minutes to 2 hours on that. And I'll go over that. I'll go over how I did that in Minneapolis, Minnesota, because when I was a realtor, that's where I started. I didn't know anybody. Well, I'll take that back. I knew my father-in-law and mother-in-law, but they're good Norwegian people, which means they're not going to refer anybody to me. And then when I moved out to San Diego 7 years ago, I didn't know anybody. My little brother lived in Ladera Ranch, which is Orange County, part of LA, which is, I don't know, hour and a half from here. So that really, I started from scratch. And that first year, I basically retired for about 3 years. But my 4th year here in San Diego, I woke up and I wanted to work because mainly I wanted my kids to see me working. I was like, it wasn't good that they didn't see me working, and so that first year I did a little over 20 million in sales. And yeah, I'll go over all the things that I did and some things to avoid that'll really help you out. And the cool part about it is the cost to me and the cost to you is not a lot of money. You know, it doesn't hurt to have like Zillow leads or Trulia leads, Realtor.com leads. Those are certainly good, but you can make a good living by spending close to zero on advertising and marketing. So yeah, we'll definitely go over that. Awesome. How about Bert or Steven? Do you guys got any questions either on the 3-day event or on, gosh, just anything in general? I'd love to share with you what I know. And Jonathan and Bobby, if you got any other questions, pop in too.
So you were kind of touching on it, and I think Bobby would benefit from this as well. But how would you go about, you know, say you're picked up right now and just dropped in a different part of the country? How do you go about getting a listing in you know, a matter of a couple of days or so, or weeks,
Yeah.
or you know?
Yep. Okay. So first off, because you guys have signed, well, Jonathan's part of the Profits and Passions Freedom Club, and Bobby, you signed up for the 3-day event. So I sent you guys out that Dropbox link. Have you guys opened it or looked at that stuff yet?
Yeah, I have.
Yep. Okay, cool. So in there's 4 letters. It's called the listing getting letters, and I would mail that letter out every other day to the same, doesn't matter if it's 100 people or 500 people, but I'd mail that same letter out. Well, letter 1, then wait a day. Letter 2, wait a day. Letter 3, wait a day. Letter 4. And if you send out 250 of those letters, and I wouldn't choose the highest end properties. Like say I got dropped into Juneau, Alaska. I wouldn't choose the top like 10% most expensive homes, but I'd probably choose that top quarter. So that's 75 to 90%, you know, most expensive home.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd send 250 of those letters out to that neighborhood. I wouldn't even do much research. Like, doesn't matter to me if they moved there, if they got this amount of equity, who cares? Just mail the letters out. And by that 4th letter, I'll have a call and I'll have a listing.
Okay.
So that's step 1, what I would be doing. Step 2, I would be interacting with local, like, Chamber of Commerce's or things that kind of charge me up. So, like, I like to play tennis, so I joined the Juneau, Alaska Tennis Club, right? I'm trying to think what else charges me up. I guess I like golf, but not a lot. But hey, I'm new to town, so I joined the men's golf league, right? And so now I'm instantly involved with 50 guys who play golf, and I'm involved with, let's say, 20 guys that play tennis. And I would make it very clear, like, what I do and who I am, right? So the first time I played tennis with these guys, so if I signed up today, Wednesday, I'd probably be playing tennis by Friday or Saturday. And, you know, they're going to be like, who are you? You're new, right? And it's like, yeah, I am new. I'm new to town. You know, and then they're going to ask me, like, what do I do for a living? It's just natural. And I'd be like, oh, well, I'm a professional real estate consultant. Yeah, I love helping people sell their homes faster, for more money, and with less stress. And I would jot that down somewhere because that's like a really good 3 bullet points to have. Yeah, I specialize in selling homes faster, for more money, and less stress. And they're going to say, wow, well, how do you do that? How are you so bold to say that? And I'd be like, well, because there's 2 ways that I do it. One is I crush it in advertising. And when you're selling your house, the goal is you want to out-market or out-advertise the other homes that are on the market. Because we're competing with all the other homes in Juneau, Alaska. And so, yeah, there's 2 ways I'm going to do it. One is we're going to do print media. 2 is we're going to do online media. And those are really the only 2 kinds of media that exist out there. In print media, I'm going to create a 12-page brochure and maybe I got a brochure in my car, so I'd show it to them, and I'd be like, this is the brochure that I create. So when I list a house in Juneau, Alaska, I create a 12-page brochure just like this, and put this is the brochure that goes in the front of the house, you know, where people pick up the brochure, and compared to a brochure like this is a typical, you know, brochure, right, for a typical realtor. Nothing wrong with it, but this is what I'm going to create. And they're going to be like, hey, well, we're in Juneau, Alaska. This thing looks like it's from San Diego. And I go, yeah. So I'm going to create the same type of brochure. It's just instead of here, we're going to have mountains of whatever, you know, your house looks like. But it's the same kind of concept, right? So it's like a McDonald's can operate profitably in Pasadena, and it doesn't take that much effort for a McDonald's to operate profitably in Alaska, or in Boston, or in Tallahassee, Florida, or in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Does that make sense? So it's basically the marketing of how to sell houses works no matter where you're at. And so that's print media. Then what I'm going to do online media is I'm going to create a website just for your house, just like it says there. This one says Amazing Green Valley Home. And then I'm going to do some certain things on Trulia, on Realtor.com, and on Zillow that are going to cause your house to be seen by 300% more people than if you don't choose me to sell your house. And so right there, I've said, I don't know, 3 minutes of stuff. And these 20 guys, tennis guys, probably half of them are going to be like, we never want to talk to you again, Jonathan. And the other half are going to be like, holy cow, you know what's going on. Does that make sense?
Right.
And that's okay with me. I'm okay repelling people because I know I've got to repel people to have people attracted. Does that make sense? And I'm not going out of my way to repel people, but I'm just, hey, they're the ones that asked, right? And they're the ones that said, well, what do you do for a living? And I told them. And they go, well, how do you sell homes faster for more money with less stress? And I tell them. And then I'm just like, yeah, let's go play tennis. And then we go play tennis. And then, you know, we're done, and we have a little water break. And they go, so now tell me more about this. And I might tell them more about it. Or I might say, hey, so what do you do for a living? And the guy says, I'm a dentist. Or I'm a whatever. You know, I change oil for cars. I am a florist. I'm a school teacher. I'm a whatever it is. And then I'm just talking about them, and I'm going, a school teacher? That's awesome. What do you teach? And they go, we teach second grade. Oh, that's cool. What's the best part about second grade? And blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, within 12 days, I'm going to have 150 friends. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Because I got nothing else to do in Juneau, Alaska. And real estate is all about building relationships. That's why it's called Realtor. Like, you just continue on. It's, you know, real relationships. And so I tell people, I'm like, man, if you don't want to build relationships, you should probably quit being a realtor. Because I don't know. I have no clue how somebody makes money in real estate not building quality relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I might join the tennis thing in Juneau, and I might drive an hour away and join a tennis thing in, I don't know what another city is in Alaska, but does that make sense?
For sure, yeah. Mm-hmm.
For me, I would go to the local schools because I got kids, and I'd just be like, hey, I got kids coming to your school. I want to volunteer. Who do I talk to about that? And they're going to be like, wow, that's kind of freaky. We don't have too many people just show up saying they want to volunteer, and then they'd be part of this and part of that, and lo and behold, in 3 days, I'm part of the PTA, right? And there's 20 people that are part of the PTA. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
And it's just, it's kind of, it's taking that bull by the horns and just wrapping it up. and then just kind of moving on, right? So sometimes what realtors do is they think and ponder about stuff for a long time, and well, okay. So one of the things you should do, Bobby and Jonathan, is get out in the next 48 hours and watch the movie Forrest Gump. One of the best movies out there, and it's great because he's just an implementer. Does that make sense? Forrest Gump is not the smartest. He doesn't have a lot of street smarts. He's a little off, but what he does is he implements. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like he's like, all right, I'm gonna go play ping pong and playing ping pong, you know, and then lo and behold, it's like he owns a shrimp company and this and that and all this other stuff because it's just like he just implements. And you could take. I got a book up here. It's one of my favorite books. Gosh, if you don't have it, I would get it. It's called The Secret to Success. Is There's No Secret, and it's basically it's kind of a, I don't know what you call it, biography or something, where they just take hundreds of people and they go like, you know, hey, whoever it is, Andrew Carnegie, Tom Hilfiger, Vince Lombardi, Tom O'Hagan, Bill Porter, Ben Hogan, Joe DiMaggio, Mary Kay, Johnny Unitas, Jerry Seinfeld, Walt Disney, Isaac Newton, Lucille Ball, Jim Carrey, Muhammad Ali, Wayne Gretzky, Stephen King, Ray Romano, Robin Williams, Billy Idol, Michael Jordan, Harrison Ford, MC Hammer, Rick Allen, Douglas Bader, you know, George Lucas, the Beatles. I could go on and on and on, right? And some of these names you never heard of, but they've started some pretty cool companies like Sony Corporation, Callaway Golf, Ping, and the big trait is that they just like go after it full board. Does that make sense?
For
and
sure,
it's
yeah.
like, okay, if my goal is to develop relationships, then let's go develop relationships, right? And realize that, you know what, there's going to be some failure, there's going to be some struggle, there's going to be some like people that aren't going to like me or appreciate me, and that's okay. Does that make sense? It's like, it's okay.
So, I know with our chamber, my chamber specific, or one of them, there are three that I could really be a part of. There's a guy there who's been there for a long time, and just kind of your thoughts on it. But he's been there for quite a while, and he's a real estate agent as well. And I know that I can have a pretty good advantage over him because he just doesn't dress very professionally, but he does have the connections of knowing people for quite a while. You know, is there a good way to really overcome that, or?
Good question. Yes, there's a great way to overcome that, and we'll talk about that for probably 90 minutes
Okay.
at the 3-day event. When I started in real estate in Minnesota, like nobody knew me from Adam, and there's a whole bunch of realtors that were been around for 100 years. I would start with this: that the public doesn't care.
Yeah.
Right? And it's really hard to hear because as realtors we go like, yeah, but we're going up against Sally Mae or Fred or whomever, and it's like the public uses Fred or Sally Mae because they don't know that you exist yet. Does that make sense?
Right.
So it's like it's okay. And I like it that there's a lot of competition because the more competition out there, the more the traditional realtor is going to have a brochure like this, right, a one-page piece of paper, or like this. I guess it's two-sided, right? And here I come in, and I'm at a chamber event, and I got a 12-pager. Does that make sense? Like, put me up against a billion-dollar producer. I'd be fine with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. And I guarantee you that other realtor doesn't have the 3 promises like I do. Like, hey, I'm going to be on time. I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. Or my purpose, right? So, like, my purpose is for you to be outrageously happy with the high level of service that I provide you. You just naturally and gladly introduce me to 2 people before we close on your home. I could go into a chamber meeting today and no other realtor is going to say that. Does that make sense? You're going to say, I'm a realtor and here's my business card. And I work for this company called XYZ, and we've been around for 1,000 years. Oh, and by the way, we're number 1. And I'm never going to say I'm number 1, right? Because as soon as you say you're number 1, I mean, the public is not dumb, right? So how can one commercial say Remax is number 1, and then the next commercial, Century 21 is number 1, and then, oh, by the way, Keller Williams is number 1, and then, oh, by the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the public goes, there's something wrong, right? Something's off, and so yeah, I try and downplay my achievements. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Because the public they don't care if I've sold 1,400 homes, if I've sold $370 million of real estate, or if I've sold 0. The public doesn't care.
Right.
And so what I try and do now is I don't even mention to people my statistics. Like, there's nowhere on my postcards that I send that out. It's not in my brochures. Last I checked, I don't think there's anywhere where it says I've helped out that many families and I've sold that much real estate. No? Okay, I want to make sure. If there was, I got to do it. But what it does say, it says, hey, if you want to sell your home faster, for more money, and with less stress, give me a call. Right? It's that simple. And then when people connect with me, they go, well, what do you do different? And it's kind of what I went over earlier, right? Well, marketing-wise, I do something very different on the print media, and I do something very different on the online media.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully they say, cool, what do you do different? And then I can pull out my brochure, which this isn't that much expense. This is like $3 a piece, so it cost me $300. Whereas I guess I could create a brochure like this, which was basically free, but I mean, this does nothing, right? This is hilarious. This is like, the back of this is saying how great this individual is, right? And I'm just telling you, the public doesn't care. They don't care. Like Mark Zuckerberg, he could have been Fred Smith. The public doesn't care, right? Apple Computer could have been called Orange, and people wouldn't care, right? McDonald's is called McDonald's, even though it was created by Ray Kroc. People don't care. Your name could be Fred or Sally. You could be 500 pounds overweight, or you could be anorexic as all get out. The public doesn't care. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And that's, realtors are so concerned about their perception. Like, I mean, I haven't shaved for like 3 days. I probably won't in another 2 days. And I got an appointment in about 2 hours from now. And this is what I'm going to wear. A short sleeve shirt, kind of wrinkly, right? It's like I'm just not out to impress people, right? And I think because I'm not out to impress people, I think people are impressed by that. Maybe I repel some people too, right? And maybe they're like, hey, we want a realtor in a 3-piece suit. Well, perfect. I'm glad we found out right away because I'm not going to be wearing a 3-piece suit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's like I am who I am. And so I tell realtors, be who you are. Just definitely plug into my signature system, but use that system to be who you are, right? And you don't have to do cold calling. You don't have to do expireds. You don't have to do for sale by owners. I don't. You can if you want, but it's just why not go join the tennis club or the golf club, or if I like to work out, which I don't work out, but if I was into fitness, I would make a point of like getting to know the other people I'm exercising with. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going there to do fitness, but my other half of that job is to go ask people about their lives, what do they do for a living, that kind of stuff. They're naturally going to say, hey, well, what do you do for a living? And then I have a conversation, and it's very on target. Does that make sense? So if somebody says to me, hey, Jonathan, what do you do for a living? I don't say I'm a realtor, right? That would be like 2 thumbs down, right? I say, oh, I'm a professional real estate consultant. I love helping people through this complicated process. Hey, when's the last time you thought of moving? And right then and there, I'm striking up a conversation with them.
Mm-hmm.
So, awesome. All right, so we got a couple more minutes before I got to zap. What questions about the 3-day event do you guys have, if any? It's me for 3 days going over exactly what I do, what I've done. I'm a realtor first and foremost, just like you guys. I started one company from scratch in Minnesota. I sold that company about 2 years ago. I started another company now here in San Diego. So I've done it where I've had this big team of people. That wasn't really my passion. My passion is going out and selling about $20 million a year of residential real estate and spending about 20 hours a week, give or take, doing it. That really is exciting to me. I love that. And I'd say the second thing, work-wise, that excites me is helping other realtors out. So I love basically opening up the book and showing you my guide to success, and then you duplicating it. And you don't even need to duplicate all of it. If you can duplicate 2 or 3 of the things out of the 12 things that I do, you'll be set for the rest of your life. And it's a really simple process. It's a lot of fun. I call it an ELF business. It's about creating an easy, lucrative, and fun real estate business. And if you're not earning $300,000 a year, and if it's not easy, lucrative, and fun for you, then you definitely sign up and come on out to San Diego. I got one gentleman, he lives in the New York area. His name is Jesse, and his oldest daughter is graduating high school, and he was going to miss the first day, but he was still going to come to the second and third day. But he moved her graduation party up a little bit so he could come for all 3 days. And he's a pretty high producer currently, but he's just not having fun. And he's like, I got to figure out what you do, because he says it's just too hard. I'm making it too hard. I'm like, yeah, you probably are making it too hard, right? You don't need to learn more sales tactics. You don't need to work more. You probably need to work less. You probably need to say no to some clients, so you have the free time to say yes to like better clients. I call it more premium clients. Premium clients doesn't mean someone who is selling or buying a more expensive house. To me, a premium client is somebody that's just easy to work with. Does that make sense? It's like if I was I don't know, if I changed oil for people's car for a living, I would just want to change oil for people that wanted their oil changed, right? I wouldn't go out there and try and get people who want to buy a toaster to get their oil changed. That's too challenging. And that's what a lot of prospecting is that most realtors do. It's like going after people that have no desire to buy and sell. That's just like, why? That's just hard. That's just really, really, really hard. And I've been there, done that. You can name the system, the program. I've probably tried it, done it, and yeah, I always come back to what is really simple, which is the signature system that I've created, and yeah, and now there's, geez, uh, lots of realtors around the country. I don't want to say in every state, but in a good chunk of the states who are putting this stuff into practice, making it happen, and really creating that elf business, easy, lucrative, and fun. And the event is 100% guaranteed. More than that, it's a 300 to 1 guarantee, right? So you come on out, you're spending your hard-earned money. More than that, you're spending your hard-earned time, and you're coming out for 3 solid days. And if this information, if you don't see, so it's not my judging it, if you don't see that you can make an additional 300,000 of income by implementing just a few of these strategies, just let me know either at day 1, day 2, at the end of day 3. Say, Jonathan, I just don't see myself putting this stuff into practice. I say, no worries. Shake your hand. Hey, here's your money back. Keep all the material. Keep all the information that you learned. Yeah, it's definitely life-changing. I mean, I can tell you I've helped out somebody who's been in business for 37 years, and he is going to triple his income this year and work a lot less. And I can tell you I helped out an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old, and both of them within about 70 days, one earned about 36,000 and one earned about 41 or 42,000 of income. And as you can imagine, an 18 and a 19-year-old, their network of people is not that good.
Right.
Right? Yeah. So
Okay.
awesome.
Well,
Okay, I got time for one more question, then I got to run.
I
But
think one
fire
good
up.
question that people might have is there anything special that they should really bring to the event?
Probably the biggest thing is like a willingness to learn a new system, a willingness to like really want to invest into people's lives, right? So it's like when I work with a buyer or seller, I give them such a good VIP experience that they really want to refer their friends and family to me, right? And then on the flip side, I'd say this: have a willingness to not want to work all the time. So if somebody is a realtor and they go, hey, I want to work 18 hours a day, my system's not for you. And vice versa. If a realtor is like, hey, I want to work 40 hours a week, but I want to triple my income, I say, okay, well, that's not going to work either. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to work, but you're not going to need to work probably as much as you are currently. But again, I don't know how much you are currently, so I guess I don't know. Yeah. Awesome. Hey, Jonathan, so I got to make a phone call before I call you, so it'll probably be like 10, 20 minutes from now, but I'll give you a call.
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome. All right. See you guys. See you, Bobby. See you, Jamie. Have a great day.